So today I'm going to be explaining the whole entire story of the Creepypasta Battle and all my other levels that I've made throughout the years. I did previously make 2 videos based on it, but they aren't good. These levels will all be in order, so let's begin. We start out with the granddad of all of the levels, the Creepypasta Battle. It initially starts with you, the player, inside a nice isolated room, and as you leave the room, that's when you start to notice there's creepypastas in the hotel with you, like Jeff breaking through the door. Then once you walk out of the kitchen, that is when the first fight scene starts. And crazy enough, that's not my first fighting scene on LBP. My first fighting scene on LBP was back in the PS3 days on LBP3 PS3, when I made a level called Jack-O-Lantern vs. Jeff, but I decided to delete it for some reason. Alright, let's get back on topic. So you would run up the stairs and see a window, and you would break through the window, and then you would fall out of that and end up at the next fighting scene, which it has all the characters: Slender, Eyeless, Jack-O-Lantern, and Jeff. And it used to have Jane, but I changed that. Jack-O-Lantern and Eyeless fight, Slender and Jeff fight, until Jack-O-Lantern hits Jeff so hard and teleports him up on top of the hotel, and then Eyeless takes hold of him, hits Jack-O-Lantern off the side of the building, having him hanging, and then messes Jeff up, starts stabbing him while he's on the floor. Then Eyeless disappears, and the fighting scene ends, and Jeff is still just sitting on top of the hotel. This is an update in the level. I added this purple portal, and if you go inside of it, it shows a different version of Seeker and Eyeless dead. This is a crazy result in later levels that I will explain in the future. So as you continue, you see a big white X that it was supposed to mean a lot more in the level. They're basically Seeker's portals. So you go through that, and once you go through that, you're supposed to see another one, but I took that out. Once again, I don't know why I did. In the original version of this level, that white X was supposed to be right here, and as you go through that, you go inside of Seeker's world. And then it was a whole fire section of the level. That's all I have to say. It was a whole different world. It was, man, I wish I didn't delete it. Then later on, as you go through that, you see graves, an old horror attraction of an ancient castle that Seeker actually resides in, and then you notice that you're trapped, you can't get out, and it popped out of literally nowhere. So once you make the dumb idea to go inside of there, man, what is up with this script? I don't like saying that the people of the video are dumb. They're not.
Boy, if you don't just keep reading the script.
Man, alright. You continue walking in, and you used to see a picture of Seeker saying wanted, but now it's Jack-O-Lantern, because, again, later level events. And literally, as soon as you walk in, you start to notice that everything is upside down, and the player looks up and sees Seeker on the ceiling. Very creepy much. And then the final fight scene ensues. Okay, a lot is happening. I'm gonna just let you watch it. So originally, when the portal creeps up at this moment, there was Jeff and Jane originally, but now it's just no one there. And so what connects the cycle in the Creepypasta Battle is that you, the player, runs back to the hotel out of fear, and that is when the cycle starts. The beautiful title screen that never used to be there in the cycle plays, and then the player says, they're still alive from the castle, breathing hard, they're tough. You continue on throughout the hotel, oh, dead body, and find a key, and then you run into Eyeless, and then he chases you into another room where it has him, Seeker, and Slender all looking at you while you run into the middle of the room. And then my creation, Seeker, hits you and then gets hit by Eyeless. So y'all teleport out of there, and then you continue out through the level. But kids, don't get too comfortable. You get hit by another chase scene, and it's Jeff following you. You run, and then you slam the door in Bro's face. You know, he does a little Wolverine on the door, and then he, walks back. And then as you think you're getting comfortable again, you get hit by Slender. Then Slender starts beating you. literally, and then slammed into the next room where the second and final fight scene occur. Jeff versus Slender and Jack versus Eyeless. And originally it was supposed to be Seeker versus Eyeless, but again, changed it. And there will be an updated video of all the fight scenes, so y'all can go watch that, because this video is strictly about the story and the level layout mostly. Though I did show you the first fight scene in the beginning, but you know, you get the point. You're in the library, you get a key, and then you walk into a room where Seeker's in there, jump scares you. You continue on, and then Jack-o'-lantern chases you down the stairs, and then you run out. A brief scene is shown of Jeff killing Slender, but he's really not dead. I would just like to say, if you're new, I would love for you to consider subscribing, because I post talking videos, vlogs, gaming videos, a lot of stuff. And you know what else that has a lot? This story. Let's continue on with Insomnia. So you, the player, begins to wake up off the floor, and you start to question, how did I get here? And let me explain this super simple. It's a whole different universe. I can tell a lot of you are like, what? Or a lot of you are like, oh yeah, I know this. See, the thing I didn't tell you at the end of the cycle is that, remember the castle? That portal in the side of the castle? You actually go through that at the end of the cycle, and you end up in Insomnia. Mind blown for the people that did not know that, because I did tell people that Insomnia is a whole different universe. And the thing that I find crazy is that I started the whole multiverse thing before all these other things did it. Like Marvel and stuff, like come on, y'all, like, have y'all seen my level? Alright, we're getting off track. Let's speed this up, shall we? So again, you get up, run into another room, bunch of dead bodies, and then it's key after key. I don't like adding keys in my levels anymore. Then you finally open that one golden door, and then, oh whoa, it's Jack O'Lantern. He just locks eyes with you for, well, he doesn't have any, you get the point. Buddy disappears, and then that gives you time to go into the next room, and then yet another key, but oh, it's a fake out, because my boy Eyeless wanted to go robber mode. Anyways, you run down the stairs, you get the door pick lock, and then you unlock that door, then you run into that next room, and then the next room, and it turns out it's a chase scene. I will also make a all chase scene video, so that's why we're kind of skipping. Afterward, more key stuff, but I do have to say, I love how this room looks. Look at Jack looking around, and he's gonna keep doing that. So you get that key from, you get that key from him, then you run down to the door, and then run down all the way down the hallway, and then you go into another room. Dang, there's so many rooms! Jeff and Jane make some eye contact. He does some weird jump, I don't know why. Then Jane starts chasing his ass. Then you go into another room, and then you see Jane, she turns around, looks at you, and then runs away. Dang, am I like ugly or something? You continue on throughout the hallway, and then you get it kicked by Jeff. Tiny little fight scene right here. Not really, because Jeff goes after Jack, and then he just disappears. Then you walk into another room, see a match, and then hear the door behind you starting to get hit. You take the match, and then start running, because the person that's hitting the door is hitting it aggressively. And then you're hiding in another room. Jeff walks through the door, looks at you, and then gets hit by Jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern looks at you, you look scared, and then bro gets stabbed from the back. Then he disappears, and then Eyeless comes out of nowhere and right hooks Jeff, and then you, the player, decide to throw the match. You throw the match, and then Jeff catches it and throws it on Eyeless, and Eyeless starts to burn. He got sausage burnt. Then the ending fight scene happens with Jeff and Jane. It's been building to it. After those two fight, it cuts to Eyeless being burnt, and he's done. But yes, he's still alive. Now this marks the end of Insomnia and the start of the Creepypasta War. Now this is where it gets crazy. In this level, it's a bunch of different multiversal versions of each character, which basically means there's two Jeffs. One is from the Pizza universe, and the other is from the Gate universe. Like, you get the point. That was just an example. I'm just letting you know, there's no Pizza universe. And the reason there is a multiversal outbreak is because Zalgo opens the mother portal. I'll get to that in later levels, specifically Deadline. Alright, let's start with the level. Classic title screen, and that's when the theme of the Creepypasta War starts. Ding, dong, ding, dawn. You're inside a portal void, then you see Jack-o'-lantern hopping out of a portal, then you're teleported back to the room you was just in Insomnia, because this is directly after Insomnia. A different eyeless that looks like the one from Creepypasta Battle locks eyes with you and disappears when you walk close to him. Then you go into the next room, and here goes one of the most iconic fights ever. Burnt Eyeless versus Tiki Toby. But there's two more that are better and more iconic. Just gonna have to stay tuned for that. After the fighting scene, you see Jack-o'-lantern, he disappears, then you go into another room. Here goes the same door banging as Insomnia. You keep on running, then you see Aftermath, and then he hits Jane out of the door, and then teleports you into another room. Now see, this room has two doors, and there's an Easter egg where you can get into the left door, but you can check out the video to see how to do that up here. Anyways, bashing on this door, and you end up outside. Nah, I'm being serious. If you want to know that Easter egg, you better go watch that video. Anyways, you run out, and then this is one of the most iconic fighting scenes ever. Jeff versus Jeff. Like I said, you can continue watching these fight scenes in this video. Also, I'm going to re-upload a 4K version, and just stay tuned for that. You see Seeker, he walks up to you, and then here's the clock tower and flies away. The clock tower is where the last fighting scene takes place. Continuing on, you see your first portal, and you go through it, and you end up in another universe. But you're good, you won't stay there for too much longer. Go through a bloody room, another portal, but back to the Insomnia and Creepypasta War universe. You can go in the tar room with Eyeless, or just go straight to the chase scene with Jack-o'-lantern. Now this chase scene might be my most interactive, meaning like there's multiple things happening. Jeff toward the very end comes out of nowhere, but it's the go to sleep Jeff from Super Jack 55. He runs out and just stares at you, like the creep he is. And then you hide in the closet and wait until Jack-o'-lantern leaves. After getting out of the closet, noticing that Jack-o'-lantern isn't there, you walk out and there is a nice huge white portal. You walk through that and you end up at the last fighting scene. I'm sorry, I gotta play this beginning. The thing about that fighting scene is there's a lot happening. I just wish I made it longer. And the fact that Seeker threw Hoodie across wherever is just disrespectful. Now, wrapping up that fighting scene, you, the player, is teleported to another room where a past variant of the player, meaning like an alternate version of the player, takes you and starts to erase your memories, because this whole experience is a part of the Creepypasta cycle. And with your memory suppressed, this leaves room for the next level. Go to sleep. And this marks the end of part 1. Part 2 will come out soon, and we'll discuss Go to Sleep, Gone, Deadline, The End, and Time War. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and with that being said, until later. And check out this playlist for more Creepypasta and LBP videos.